creation. Now try to understand this, and I'll try to set up what's going on with the white man and the civilization on what they know. A soul is a sun. When we fall in love, it is the expression or the energy of the soul that we are experiencing. It's the awakening of the soul. And the love is the result of the awakening of the soul, either for a small glimpse in time or a major glimpse. But when our souls wake up, unlike other races, because we are the original people, that means that very well there could be a few human beings or two human beings that can possess aspect. There is a black woman in America that has a pussy that was in existence before the creation of time. You see. And a black man that has a dick that was in existence before the creation of time. And it is the government to make sure that even if you come together economically, socially, you see what I'm saying? You will be at odds and you will be in such a struggle. You see what I'm saying? That you will never be able to tap into that higher self. Or, if you got too much money, that's still a distraction. Because you will be forever, number one, trying to keep it, or number one, trying to see what you can buy, or number one, thinking that in actuality you are bored because you have missed the point that you had it all before the money, and the money can never bring you things. So it's always some kind of confusion that's actually going, this actually going down. You see, even to the point we get this particular book by Crowley called Atlantis, one of the few books that they don't print. And ironically, they print a lot of his stuff, but they don't print this particular book. It's a small book. It would be cheaper to produce, but they don't print it for the mere fact that he said that the word Atlantis means the black woman on the second page of the book. You see, which means that if we are the ones to love, we will tap into our primordial selves. And by doing that, we can change this shit. You see, we can change this thing. I'll give you some clarity on that in a minute. And that has something to do with Krishna and Radha. Now, Krishna goes with Radha. Radha is a married woman. Well, first of all, someone said, well, man, what kind of religion is that? That the fundamental hero or the Christ figure in the religion will be going with a married woman. First of all, they're not talking about moralism. Number two, because moralism is political and has nothing to do with spiritual. Number two, two things is happening. Number one, Krishna is a god, so he is not on the level of moralism. He is the Godhead. Number two, Radha is trapped in a marriage that is a social marriage that can function based on the laws and the governments of man, but it's not a spiritual marriage, so it can ultimately never go anywhere, but just on the social level. Krishna comes in and frees her. But how is this done? How is it done? This is another book you can get called David R. Kinsley's book, The Sword and the Flute, by David R. Kinsley. Well, number one, this love has a lot to do because by her being married, they don't have a lot of time together. They know that the time that they have to spend together is not spread out, it's intense. You know, it's intense. So they don't have a lot of time to be wasting when it comes to this love that they have, where they have distractions because they're just this regular couple. You see what I'm saying? That's got a whole lot of time on their hand. When they come together, it's extremely intense. And it's intense because they know that time is the factor. She cannot be with him the whole time. So by it being so intense, they go into a realm of bliss. And by going into a realm of bliss, they create something outside of the ordinary love, which is this alternative dimension that even in the text, some of the people or the whole society that surrounds them shares in this bliss, in this enchanted world that they have built, which is the hereafter. See, same story on how this thing is done. So they know, the government again knows, that if we get a certain amount of black people to really tap into this primordial essence called love, the true love, not the one that society says, one that is beyond money, material things, and beyond life itself. If they can get one to tap into that love, then it will create an entire society and a dimension around those two lovers that the entire community, in this particular case, the primordial beings, the original people, will benefit from by destroying the matrix. And this is what Christian Enrata does in the text. At first she sneaks off at night into the enchanted forest to be with him. Then it gets to the point where, and then not only that, when she cannot be with him, she sets up this longing for him that generates more energy. So sometimes longing is great, you see, because it generates more energy. So when they come together again, the energy is even stronger than when they were before. And each time they are building sections into this new world of the bringing in this energy into this new world. So it's almost like having this